Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you'll need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. We got a great show lined up for you today. Peter Schiff making a prediction for Bitcoin to go to $94,000. We got another prediction for $150K this year on Bitcoin. We got some Solana news and we got some charts to check out. All this and more today on Piper Academy, guys. It's time. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. I am Army Piper. We come at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. TradeFly is going to be out today. He's got a little mission going on, a little downtime for himself, personal side. So he's not going to be with us today. But I'm not doing it by myself. I've got my OC in the house. Let's go ahead and bring him up. What is up, OC?
Not much, just a little bit chilly here. First time in a long time that I need to wear a sweatshirt right inside of my room. Nonetheless, this is fantastic. I love cold. I'm team cold. So yeah.
I like cold too, personally. I would much rather be where it's a little chilly than to be where it's a little hot, because according to social standards, there's only so many clothes you can take off in public. But I can put on clothes. I can put on clothes. That's okay. That's socially acceptable. So who all we got in the chat today, man? Let's give a shout out to the chat. We just had a long weekend. So I want to see how everybody in the chat's doing today, guys. I hope everyone in here had a great weekend. We had Easter weekend, and now it's Monday, and Bitcoin had a little dip overnight, little dip this morning. So we're going to get into all that news. But shout out to Alexandra G, the mod queen in the house right now. We've also got C90 in here. We got Mr. J, who is just now just J. That's all he goes by now, just J. We've also got who else is in here? I just Trade Intuition. I see him in the house right now. Dave Digital is in here right now. A lot of blue names because I guess another show is going on and they don't know where the real alpha's at. It's right here on Piper Academy, guys. Go share this with people. And don't forget, hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get into the news today. Unless you got anything you want to say to people. OC, you got anything for the people?
Not much. Just guys, thank you so much for joining today. I think it's going to be a great class, and let's roll it. Let's get started with the
love the alumni, man. Kick. Love doing this for the alumni. Let's jump over into the news.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
Guys, this is your daily news brought to you today, as always, by Decrypted.tax. The 15th is very quickly coming. Today is April 1st. It is April Fool's Day. We're not going to do any of the April Fool's stuff today, just so you know. I'm not gonna put out fake FUD just for the sake of April 1st. But if you guys haven't done your tax, don't be a fool. Call the professional that you can trust. It'll be Ernest over there to get yourself 25% off and a free consultation. This man knows crypto tax and he knows crypto law. He is a tax attorney and an accountant. So let's jump in, check out what we got on the news. We've got me on screen. Check that out. Look at there, guys. Extreme greed on the fear and greed today. 79 is what we're sitting at today. Let's jump over to the crypto bubble, see how they're looking. We've got a lot of red on the chart for the daily right now, but we got this thing down here called Core, and I didn't know exactly what it was. I did do a little bit of a chat GPT for research so that I could get an understanding of it. Basically, it's a layer one. They've been around since like September 2022. And they had just done an update. They're just picking up a lot of work. DApps is really what's driving it today. So Core up 62%. Jupiter up 18.1% with their decentralized exchange over there. Stacks is up 5.7. I like seeing that. That's a good thing from my portfolio. Sui up 6.5. Beyond that, guys, not a lot of movement. Like Litecoin's up 2.4. That's not a big deal. Pith up 2.7. Aptos, ICP, both in that 2 to 3 range. Doge holding on. But overall, guys, let's take a look down here and you'll see Bitcoin down 1.2%, nothing major. Ethereum down 1.8%, BNB down 2.2. Let's go down here. XRP's down 2.4. Cardano down 3.1%. Shiba Inu down 4.6. Or even the meme coins are not really massively crashing today. I will point that out. Near Protocol down 5.8 for the week. Cosmos, or for the day, I should say. Cosmos down 4.1 and Dog with Hat. Again, even the meme coins not taking huge dumps today. We are just trying to rebound over that overnight pullback. Let's jump over here into the liquidations, see what we're looking at here. In the past 24 hours, 84,832 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $227.9 million. Largest single liquidation happened on OKX. Ethereum was what they were trading. It was a wipeout of $7 million. Economic calendar, guys. We do have this on here, but we're going to go ahead and jump over and check out Kabisi Letter's layout on this because he does such a good job on it. There we go. Events this week, guys. ISM manufacturing today is coming out. And then we got JOLTS job openings tomorrow. Those are going to be new jobs, not including farm jobs that are going to be opening. This is how many open jobs there are on the market. This will give us an idea of how the labor force is looking. And then Wednesday, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking, so we'll have to see what he says and how that affects the markets. And then Friday, we're going to get the jobs report. That's going to give us our unemployment rate, which is currently at 3.9. Go ahead and jump back over here and take a look at that. You'll see that right here on Friday. Unemployment rate currently at 3.9. Consensus and forecast is that it will be 3.9%. So that is what we are looking at there. But we are seeing, as we talked about last week, we are seeing inflation start to rear its ugly head. So I wanted to take a look at the CME futures here so that I could see what they were predicting for the next rate hike. And right here, 1 May, so about 1 month from today, exactly, we will be having our next one. Guys, if you remember, this was almost all the way down to 0. We're starting to see a little tick up movement here of rate cuts. I still don't think it's going to be in May. I think it's going to be more like July that we actually see that come through. But as of right now, we are starting to tick back up here on the chance, 7.3% chance of a rate cut. If we go over here and look at June, it's now sitting at about 64% chance of a rate cut, 35% chance of no change. I think as we get closer, this easing, this rate cut is going to decrease. The no change is going to increase. And I think July will be where we start to see like, hey, we actually might get a rate cut here. I do want to remind people when we typically start to get the Fed rate cuts, that is when we start to see prices pull back on everything. Historically, over a 100-year period, I've showed this chart numerous times if I've showed it once. When we get rate cuts, prices start to pull back on everything. So as far as like stock market, cryptos, like stuff like that. And the stock market can go down like 30 to 50% when we start to get rate cuts, guys. If that is the case, then we would see a pretty substantial pullback on crypto. What I want to caveat, though, is that typically when we saw those big pullbacks from rate cuts, it's because we did not get a soft landing. Things were kind of wrecked on the end of employment, on the end of labor force and stuff like that. We're actually seeing a very strong labor force, which means we are in line for probably the softest landing we've had yet in the past 100 years. So it may not play out that way. It may be very slight buy the rumor, sell the news type thing. So that's what I got there. The rest of it is articles, and we're going to jump over here. We're going to talk to OC and I are going to talk this out for a second. OC, what do you think about this? Do you think we're going to see those rate cuts start in June like it's showing on this FOMC data, or do you think it's going to be like July and later in the year? The Fed, just so you know, has said that there will be likely 3 rate cuts this year. So what's your thoughts on it?
I believe that they need to squeeze it in a little bit more because, and we're going to be seeing as a schedule, maybe the rate cuts will not be that aggressive though, and they will be a little bit more softened. Nonetheless, I do believe that they will be on time, and that's because they do need to squeeze that amount of rate cuts in a shorter amount of time and spacing them evenly across the board, or not evenly, but most likely not that either stuck together or too far apart, will be much better for the economy and also for the price reaction or the economy reaction across the board. So yeah, I believe that what you mentioned, it's I mean, it's what we're gonna be having, which is the softest landing ever, and we've been seeing them pulling out so many things throughout this year is that kind of like do work, right? At the end of it all, whatever they're doing, it is acting upon the economy and it's not showing bad numbers, although we know we might not be getting the freshest numbers out there. But yeah.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Every time they put out a job number or something like that, they come back the next month. They put out this better than expected number or this decent number, and then they come back the following month and they just immediately change it. But they don't put out that that don't get a big announcement. That doesn't get the Regal Fair and stuff like that. But hey, speaking of Regal Fair, I want to give a shout out to some people that we got in the chat right now. We got Piano Matty B. If you guys don't know who Piano Matty B is, are you really in crypto? Shout out to him. He's in the chat room right now. That is awesome. Also, we got Alex O Crypto in here. We got Investing Bros in here. We got Trade Intuition. We got all the players. I love it. This is fantastic to see. So shout out to you, Piano Matty B. Hit us up. I would love to have you on the show some morning, Matty B, just because no one does TA like you, my friend. And you love talking about the fundamentals, and we like the fundamentals here too. So hit us up. Let's get Piano Matty B on here. Let's jump over OC and let's get into this news article. This is our headline news article today, guys, that was on the thumbnail. Bitcoin to $94,000. This prediction was made by Peter Schiff. No joke. He unknowingly predicts while poking Bitcoin. So he tried to bash on it like he normally does. And in the process, he made a little prediction there. He said, frequently found himself at odds with the crypto community due to his staunch support for gold and his skepticism about Bitcoin. However, in an ironic twist, he may himself inadvertently predicted optimism for Bitcoin, a scenario where it could value to $94,000. So it began as another day of criticism. He was aiming his usual jabs at Bitcoin. In the mid his statement, he made a comment about a figure that caught the attention of the crypto enthusiast and skeptics alike. $94,000. Here's the post that he's talking about. Bitcoin pumpers are making fun of tonight's meager $25 rise in the price of gold. Ooh, good job, gold. But following Friday's $39 rise, this 3% two-day gain equates to about $450 billion of total market capitalization. To match that dollar gain, Bitcoin would have to rise by about 23K to 94K. So I don't really know that he was making a prediction. He was just saying what Bitcoin would have to do. But let's face it, Bitcoin has always done numbers like that. And that is nothing for us. Matter of fact, one of the comments that people made back on it was, and then the next step right there, the Bitcoin community was quick to seize upon Schiff's remark, taking it as a prediction for the Bitcoin price in the days to come. Chad Steingraber, a crypto enthusiast, reacted and said, and Bitcoin we'll hit 100 soon. So there you go, 100,000 soon. There's our article for today. Little jab there at Peter Schiff. But on the real side of predictions, Bitcoin halving cycle, nope. That is the wrong one. There we go. Bitcoin could skyrocket to $150,000 this year. This is according to Morgan Creek Capital CEO. And guys, he's not talking this bull run. He's talking about this year, and that has a totally different story than where are we going to top out? Oh, 150K. Where are we going to be at the end of the year? 150K. I think that puts that top out a little bit higher than what we're seeing on this number here. If we hit 150K this year, this is driven by the upcoming Bitcoin halving, which, by the way, guys, is less than 3 weeks away right now. The exchange traded ETFs CEO. Prominent hedge fund Morgan Creek Capital, Mark Yusko, was in an interview on CNBC on March 30th, and he said, post-halving, you get a lot of interest in the asset. That is coming very soon. A lot of people FOMO in, and we normally go about 2x fair value in the cycle. In the last cycle, fair value was 30, as we got as high as 68,000 to 69,000. This time, I think probably 2x there because there's less leverage, and he's absolutely right. There's no leverage in these ETFs. This is just straight demand that's pushing these values up. There is a couple of charts, and I don't know if it was in here. No, it is in here. Let's talk about this. And then we're going to jump into these charts that I'm showing, that I've got over here shared. Highest Bitcoin price for 2024. We got a poll up, guys. Go ahead and hit that vote in there and let us know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and click 85 to 95K. I'm going to be conservative. So this Bitcoin halving cycle might play out differently. We always hear this story. This time it's different. This time it's different. According to 21 shares, this time it really could be different. Despite some pullbacks, the firm suggests that Bitcoin's overall outlook is bullish. I'm going to go ahead and put in there bullish AF. That's what I think. This halving cycle might see an earlier rally compared to previous ones, mainly due to the impact of the Bitcoin ETFs. It's the hot thing in the news, right? He comes down here and he breaks this down, and I just want to show you where they're talking about what's going on here. There we go. That is not it. It's the MVRV. To analyze Bitcoin's market sentiment and compare them to historical trends, 21 shares use two technical metrics. That would be the market value to realized value, the MVRV, and the net unrealized profit and loss, which is called the NOBL. Currently, the NVRVZ score is around 3, lower than the 6 that was observed in February 2021. That was the first market peak of the last bull run. And then they also talk about the NOBL that suggests investors haven't reached peak greed levels. Currently, the NOBL is around 0.6 or 60%, which is lower than the 0.7 observed before the 2021 price surge. So I went ahead and pulled these up here. You can get on this. This is lookintobitcoin.com. And there's a couple of key things that I want to point out here. This first one here, this is the MVRV, guys. No, thank you. Get off there. All right. So you see the MVRV here. In the bull run cycles, we hit up in this red area here. And this has happened back here in, 2013. It happened here in 2013 again. It happened here in 2017. And it happened here right about the time that we got the crossing of the pi cycle top. That pi cycle top printed right around this period here also. That would have been in 2021, February, before we came little pullback and then rallied up to our all-time high, right? Well, look how low the MVRVZ is right now, guys. We are sitting down here right now currently at the score of about 2.75. As the article said, it's a score of about 3. We still have, like, you guys think this is the top? This is not the top. If we follow the cycles for the MVRV, where we are going to be heading to would again be this red box. Look at how much the price moved. Let's look here and see where we were at this point. That would be about right here. That price was about in the ballpark. That's given total market cap on Sunday, November 29th. So let's jump over here real fast. I want to check this. Sunday, November 29th. Let's go to daily. I'm just going to show you how much of a move we still had from this level on the MVRV. Daily, and let's grab my tool here. November. I just lost it in my head. What was it again? This moment of silence is brought to you by Proctologists of America, people pulling people out of other people. I'll be right with you. 2020, November 30th. There we go. Sorry. November 2020, let's go back and see where price was at and how much of a move we had from there. That's going to be right in this range here. Okay, so let's go here up to the top. That was a total move at that period of 323%, guys. That was a 323% move from the last time that we were at this level on the MVRV, and we're just heading into the halving right now, which means we still have a long way to go to get to the red box, which means price has a long way to go. Very bullish. Now, the other thing they talked about was the NOBL, and what's interesting on the NOBL here is that the NOBL is sitting around 60%. We typically get these moves up on top of this, and we top out at about 75%. And again, if you don't remember what we were just talking about, that NOBL right there, he says it's currently around 60%, which is what we just showed, and which is lower than the 70% top that we typically get. Compared to prior halving cycles, the current NOBL suggests a growing bull market. Let's jump back to DuoCam and talk about this, because these two metrics here are telling us that what everyone says, oh my God, we're in the bull market. No, it really hasn't even started yet in comparison to previous cycles when we look at the MVRV and the NOBL. If you guys are bullish on this cycle, do you think that this has not even started yet? We have yet to begin. Put a 1 in the chat, but OC, what do you think? I personally think this is super, super bullish.
I'd also think that is super bullish. And my thoughts is that technically we are not in the bull market just yet. Why? Because we haven't caught the production of Bitcoin, right? We haven't had the shock. We haven't had the usual cycle characteristics to start the bull market. Nonetheless, when we go into the future and we look back and we start analyzing where the bull market started, definitely we're going to be calling this point up and say, well, we did start it earlier, but technically it did start it here, right? Which is at the halving event. Nonetheless, I want to kind of like wrap things up on this opinion because I'm still very, 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 very bullish on this upcoming bull market and bull cycle.
Absolutely.
And I mean, yes, because we do have also every single metric is just going crazy. That doesn't mean, guys, that doesn't mean that we're not going to be having equal drops, because remember that institutional money goes in hard, goes out also harder, right? So just be on the expectation that we're going to be having the same kind of like a movement to the upside and to the downside that we have seen maybe in 2 cycles back. And also, when you were saying that everybody's just saying that this cycle is going to be different, this year is going to be different, what I always want to see is actually the cycle being the same. Because when it's the same, or at least the same ish, you already know your metrics. You already are seasoned on what it has been done, right? And you don't need that, or you don't have that FOMO of like, am I going to be missing out? Am I going to be entering correctly? Am I going to be, like entering late, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what I got, Piper. What are your thoughts?
I think it is a little bit different because it's happening so much
All right.
quicker because of the demand. We have the typical supply shock that we get from the halving taking place from the demand of the institutional money, the demand from the ETFs, the BlackRocks, the Grayscales. They are the demand that is now creating supply shock. And so when the halving starts, I got to say, I don't think anybody's really bullish enough. I think the comment that Lunar Beaches Crypto makes all the time of we are not bullish enough may be right. We may see a move that just blows every other market cycle out of the water because of the pre-setup of supply shock that normally doesn't occur until after the halving starts. We've had it before the halving. So that is a double metric layered down. It's an exponential amount of demand layered on top of itself. So shout out to Chart Prime in the chat right now. He said they love Nooples. I love Nooples too, Chart Prime. So shout out to you guys. One of the official sponsors here of the show, and love seeing them in the chat here. Down there, along with Legendary Aviation Coffee and Ernest from Decrypted Tax. Check out all the links below. You guys will get some great discounts from the show here. Let's go ahead and jump into the chart. It is time for some Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin here, guys, this is the trend line we were talking about on Friday. And I said, if we break this, guys, we should probably be heading down to the point of control and that dynamic reactor overlapping there. You guys remember this conversation? We had it on Friday. We were all sitting around talking crypto like we do. I said, if we break this trend line, watch for us to come down to that point of control and the dynamic reactor. This is what I keep telling you guys. We have so much buying pressure that even when we get pullbacks and dips, they are not hitting the levels they should hit. For example, the retracement of 40 to 50% is now the new 17 to 20%. 17 to 20% is the new 40 to 50% in this bull market, guys. Not saying that we can't get down to those levels, but this should have broken fundamentally down to the point of control. We didn't even get it. You can see here on the oscillator pro down here, the chart prime oscillator, that we didn't even get down into this lower level like we had here and like we had here. I thought if this broke, we'd be heading down here. This would cool off into the bear zone. This would come down, the bullish zone, sorry. And then this would come down into that 30% line. We didn't even get that with the RSI prime. We didn't get that with the oscillator. We did not get that with price action. It is pretty much right now where it was at on Friday when I said it's going to break this. That's where we are right now after a 3-day weekend, or 2-day weekend, I should say, 3 days, because we did it Friday morning. So all of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday. Here we are Monday, and we're pretty much in the same spot. So let's jump over here. I want to check out the Wallen chart. Shout out to Eric Wallen. He loves this chart, and so do I. So I named it after him. It is now the Wallen chart. Guys, we're still holding in the golden pocket here. I told you when we were back here about to punch up into this. This is looking at weekly candles. I was like, if we punch into this and we close inside of it, we will have bullishness and it will continue on. And that is what we have done since then. Even with the pullbacks that we've had, the buying pressure has pulled us right back into this golden pocket. And I'm going to watch for a continuation as we close in right here on our halving event. I haven't even checked the halving event. I'll check that for you here in a minute, give you guys an exact day count. But right now it's at April 15th. So let's get into who is the biggest Bitcoin bear. It's going to be Elizabeth Warren, because she's got a political agenda to be against it. That's my vote for that one. What do you got, OC? Do you want to pull up your chart, or do you have something that you wanted to say?
Yes, I do want to pull out my chart. I also want to shout out to Triflet Ace in the chart Crocs of Crypto Jay, and we also have Alexander G. So thank you guys for all of your comments. I'm reading you. Sometimes I'm not might be typing, but there we go. So I was trying just to get fix my oscillator here, and let's take a look at what I was talking with one of our members on Chart Prime. So let me just go back and make a little bit more room in here for myself, and we can see a very neat channel up ranging channel going up in here, and also a pattern that it seems to be the Wyckoff pattern, right? Going down, little range, V-shaped recovery. Look at that beautiful retest, not higher than the previous range, and that gave us 70% chances of ranging. Nonetheless, we can see that we're pushing limits in here with the previous stop of the previous range. So we are still within that Wyckoff pattern. Pretty ugly Wyckoff pattern. Nonetheless, I will be calling it as still a Wyckoff pattern. And as you're saying, we keep pushing forward, right? Oh, I want to also show you that my prediction was a break into the upside, and that is because we have a very strong support at this area, and we were pretty bullish at that at this particular zone. We were somewhere around 8 on the prime score, and also when consolidation score was at 9, like it's still right now. So far we've been prolonging a little bit, which, remember guys, ranging, it's basically the same as retracing. So we're having that retracement right now. So just so you know, I am hedging this range, and we're very, very, very close to the end of it. Something that is a little bit concerning, it is that, yeah, we keep making lower highs on our oscillator, but we are still above the zero line, which is keeping us, or taking us, that are giving us that strength to keep at least holding that position or keep pushing forward. So far, if we have a retracement, I will be looking somewhere around 65K for around this week, to the first target to be looking for, right? And then maybe if we can make it all the way back up at the bottom of this range, for a maybe pullback and breakthrough back into the range, that will get us somewhere around 80K if we just hit the bottom of the channel, or just breaking within the channel. Usually breaking in the channel means that we're going to be getting at the top of that pattern, will be getting us to the prediction you were talking about. Very close to that one, 90K. So it's pretty exciting. I haven't closed my open positions all the way at what Triflight was talking. Shout out to Triflight. What's up, buddy? At 54, 53, and 51. I'm still holding this position opens because I am prepared, and I also see, look at that VPVR, look at that volume being there, right? And look at those support and resistances that we have all the way down there. So just in case, I still have my open orders all the way down there. Nonetheless, Bitcoin is looking juicy.
Yeah, absolutely. The poll is in, by the way. Highest price for Bitcoin in 2024. Number one position, 85K to 95K. That was 52%. And then 34% said $95,000 or more. So that's the two highest positions there on the votes. So that's what the people think, man. It's what they think. Let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum. I got a little news on Ethereum. We're going to talk about the chart first, and then we'll go look at that news. And then I need to extend my T-box over here. There we go. And then we'll bring this one over too, because time moves on. Time marches on, as they say. Oh, yeah, I got to show my chart, don't I? Yeah, there you go. Hey, here's a chart, guys, for you. So, yeah, we move these T-boxes over here. Thank you, ZTS, for that call out. He's over here in the side in his little workstation. He's like, you're not even showing your chart. We did have a little rejection here on this T box. This T box, guys, I've been talking about this from back here in this area, that it was a range, and it had to do with chart prime indicators that were up there. I believe if I turn, yeah, there we go. It is that upper resistance band that is going to, that was the reason for this T box. We've now started new predictive ranges here, but that upper resistance band on the predictive ranges was the top of this box, and we have continued to get pullback on that. However, what I want to point out here is this. If we take a look here, we had a trend line auto printed here by Chart Prime's indicators. I didn't have to do this. It did it itself. The algorithm picked it up and said, hey, here's a nice trend line for you. We have just retested that and the 0.66 of the golden pocket. This is a very bullish retest of a trend line breakout and the golden pocket. I'm going to be watching for us to get our move up here. Target on this should be, because we came down and touched the lower trade band as predictive ranges, should be at least 36.89. If we break through that, I'm going to be watching for us to return back up to $4,000. That's going to be the 786 of the platinum pocket there. That's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. Let's go ahead and take a look at the oscillators. Oscillator coming into the zero line right now, and this would be a nice spot to see us bounce off of this. Typically, we do get a lot of plays on there that give us up and down movement. I would like to see the bounce on that zero line. We do see that we're getting very shortening candles here. They're not getting as long. They're not getting down as far. And this would be where I would like to start seeing these pull into shorter candles before the turn up. That would give this time to get that little flip. And then that would give us that movement on that price action that I'd like to see. I want to jump over here to my news chart here. And let's go ahead and talk about, I don't know why I just did that. Force quit. Thank you. Not trying to open you. Let's take a look at what news is coming out on ETH here. Vitalik Buterin initiates the purge. So if you ever wanted the purge, if you guys ever wanted to live in the world of the purge, because there's some people out there that you just think need it, you're getting close to it. It's at least Ethereum's purge. The protocol simplification for enhanced efficiency. He announced this is coming. What this is going to do is it's going to make the blockchains that are written way more efficient. So that's going to take up less data historically, and there's going to be able to be more put on the blocks that are done. So because of that thinning of the amount of data that is needed to be held from the historical stuff, it's going to be a shortened block, and that will allow for them to do more. It's not going to do anything with gas fees yet. Nothing like that, but it's going to be a key element in the Ethereum smart contract infrastructure, and because of that, lessening of data that's required to be in the historical blockchain data on a new block of data, it's going to be a more efficient, streamlined functionality for Ethereum. So I just wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to show you guys why I'm still bullish on Ethereum, and they're still doing the upgrades. We are now heading into the purge of the I think it's a 5 or 6 stage total on that. So that's what I got for that. OC, let's kick it over to you, and you can take a look at whatever you want to take a look at. Guys, let us know in the chat. We got about 27 minutes here left on the show. Let us know in the chat what you guys would like to see. We'll get that TA up. ZTS is going to be ready to start sending those requests that you guys drop in the chat. OC, kicking it over to you, bro.
Absolutely. I'm looking at GTO. We were talking about GTO for a couple of months. Well, a couple of weeks, actually, this month, right? And we did execute an entry there. Let me go ahead and show you where's our average entry is at 2.83%. Sorry, 2.83 cents. And we are up no leverage at 43%. There we go. That was basically our entry on GTO. Just so you know, guys, I'm taking a little bit out of that position because for me, that is a spot position. Nonetheless, seeing this movement, it indicates me that I do need buy support strategy, take out a little bit. So in case we do have a retracement, I can put it back in and take advantage of retracing with less money and going back in with more money. Nonetheless, we can see that we haven't even retraced at the half of this pump, which means that we could be making a bullish pennant. Let me just measure this one, and the 50% of that movement will be something like this. As you can see, we're still at the top of those candles, so it is very possible that we start making some formation like this. We need to look at our oscillator, because right now we do have a couple of golden boxes. We are not yet overbought. Nonetheless, we are flipping. We have the flip of the ribbon. We're still within the green cloud there. And let me just throw in a couple of support and resistances. So our support and nearest support, it is at the 50% mark of the movement all the way down here. So just be patient. We need to, well, or at least I need to see a little bit of ranging here and see a little bit of more of my developing ribbon to start taking next positioning on GTO. If you miss the pump, don't worry, you're gonna have a second chance. Stay around, because we're gonna be also looking or tapping throughout the week with GTO. So that's what I got, Piper. Would you like to take or share anything else around? I see ICP also in the chat.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
request for Caspa, and I'm actually a little concerned right now. Somebody do me a favor, check on, if you have MEXC, check on MEXC and see if Caspa is still listed there, because this is where I had all my master chart with my trend-based fibs and all that stuff. According to this, MEXC has no data coming out for Caspa, so I had to start a new chart. We're going to go fresh and clean here, so fresh and so clean on Caspa. Looking at it on KuCoin now, so yeah, a little odd. Not sure exactly what happened there, but it's okay. Well, we're going to make this work. If I have to make a new chart, I'll make a new chart. So let's go ahead and throw a fib retracement on here for local. We're going to do a local fib retracement. There, right there we go. So we got the 236 is where we're getting all of our support right now, coming in at about 13.3 cents. We are sitting below on the 4-hour and the 12-hour. You see this right here, sitting below the dynamic reactor. This is bearish, guys. I don't know what's going on right now, but definitely not looking good with MEXC's data not coming in on it. And then we're also sitting below a 60-minute, which is a 1 hour, a 4-hour, and a 12-hour dynamic reactor. You can turn these on and it will tell you if you are above or below it on multi-time frame, which is very cool. Those that don't know, if you're below the dynamic reactor, that's considered bearish. So we do have a little bit of a squeeze that could take place here with this dynamic reactor coming down and this solid base that we have here. But we've also broken beneath this trend line. So I would be watching, guys, for us. Let's go ahead and throw a fixed range volume profile on here and see how that's looking before I make this call. Let's go fixed range volume profile. Let's pull it over here for this entire area of consolidation, which is currently sitting at a 9 right now. Let's turn off that fib so we have less noise, and then we'll see how this looks. Brush mark's gone off there. So we do have a value area low right here. We have a point of control here that we got rejected off of, came down. I would be watching for us to come back down to about 12.4 cents if we cannot get above that dynamic reactor. Let's take a look at the oscillator, see how they're looking on Caspa. Can't really get a much move above that 0 line, which means that we are likely going to be heading back down again. And then also we're coming down on the RSI primed, even though it's sideways. This is cooling off. So this is kind of a good thing because we are holding this range right here in this box. But at the same time, cooling off the RSI, I'd like to see it come down, hit that 30, and then that give us a quick wick down to this trade band. That would put us into a move. We've got the delta median coming in right here at the point of control. So there's a box of resistance. And then on top of that, right here, the upper trade band is sitting right on top of that value area high. That's that purple line running all the way over there. Where we currently are, if we lose these levels, let's go ahead and just show you guys what I'm watching here on the fixed range volume profile. Isolate that over. There we go. If we lose this current level that we're at, guys, you can see here that we don't have anything else down here until about 12.9 cents, which is going to be right in line with that trade band of the predictive ranges. So all this taken into account, this big gap of volume here, I do look for us to come down and hit that range there at about 12.8 cents on Caspa. So, OC, let's kick it over to you, and we're just going to keep passing these around. I saw TIA, I saw ICP, I saw STX Stacks. Well, I'll take a look at that one. JASMY. Yeah, we got a bunch.
Absolutely. I do have pulled up here TIA. Perfect. Yeah. So let me see. Am I still online? Yes, I'm still online. Sorry, I hear a code, something like that. So yeah, let's take a look at TIA, and then we'll see that TIA is not still looking that good. Nonetheless, we could be breaking bullish sometime in the near future, but we need to acknowledge that we haven't broke that cycle of bearishness. Like, look at this previous analysis, right? We were looking at a formation to the upside in here and then a breakout of these support areas. I was also expecting, if we closed above the dynamic reactor, find the retest, and at the retest, that's your signal for off you go with an FOR or flip of the ribbon above the zero line right down there. Nonetheless, we're making this bearish flags break into the downside with huge liquidity areas. As you can see, they repeat over and over and over, going to our support zones, because if we start looking for support, we can see right there on those boxes of support or those channels of support, along with some with our predictive ranges. So far we are still within the same patterns. Let me clear this up. Just bear in mind that you're looking at this area. Let me remove everything, and we're still seeing that same pattern going up in here. And I'm gonna be doing something, and which is gonna be ignoring this little part, and that is good. That is because I do have another absorption zone, which is this one here, and we're breaking below. I rather consider this one as a breakout and retest, and that is because yes, we are below the zero line, but we are also right there with this golden box. And when we have seen that golden box, look at that golden box, we see, look at that, exactly that breakout pullback. All right, we see that golden box breakout pullback, right, and then continuation to the downside, continuation. So at this point, it means all of the factors. We are very, very bearish. Our consolidation score, it's neutral, so means that we could be bouncing from it, or at least starting to do a little range, right? We have an overbought golden box, and I'm going for this retest. If for any reason we break back into or above the dynamic reactor, I'll be looking at the predictive range golden line, all right, for a retest, and then off we go to this area right here at $17. Nonetheless, everything still bearish. All right. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of this lining here, because right now the most probable situation or outcome, it's gonna be a rejection out of this trend line right down here for a breakout, retest, bearish breakout, bearish retest. All right. So that's what I got, guys, on TIA. So turning it back to you, Piper, or yeah.
Awesome. I got stacks pulled up here. I'm taking a look at that right now. A couple of things that I'm noticing on this chart, guys. One, we do have a trend line here that was holding very strong. We did break it. We did try to get back into it, and now we've rejected. But one thing that I want to point out is that right now we are testing that upper trade band. There's your lower trade band. There's your delta median of the predictive ranges. You can see that this was previously resistance for us on that line there, that gold line. That's the top trade band of the predictive ranges. Right now we're testing that to see if we can get a bounce on it. A bounce on that would be bullish, in my opinion, because it's going to send us back up above this trend line for one thing, which is going to be good. Also, it will send us back up to test the upper resistance band of the predictive ranges. A couple of other things that I've got on here. I do have these trend-based fib extensions because we're in price discovery. Trend-based fib extensions work great for price discovery. That 8618 phase 8 golden pocket at $3.72.5 was our resistance here. We would also be above that in that scenario, which would be bullish for us also. If we can't hold that, guys, look for phase 7 golden pocket. If we do get a little pullback, it wouldn't be a whole lot. That would put us back down to $3.40. We also have the dynamic reactor coming up here. Even on the hourly, we're still sitting bullishly above this dynamic reactor. Let's take a look at that and just see. Should be right on it pretty much. Load for me, and we will see where we are. Yeah, this has been holding a strong support for us here too. So we do have that trend line coming there, and then also that dynamic reactor coming right there also with it. So there's a little confluence level of support. That's sitting at about $3.60 here on Stack. So Let's get back to the 4-hour, and then there's another thing that I want to show you guys here. We have this nice little trend line popping up here, and if we take a look at the time frame that it would take for us to get that bounce back up off of that upper golden band, give us that move up inside, that would be somewhere right in the range of that phase 9 golden pocket when we hit that trend line again. So a little bullish pattern going on there. However, a little bullish trend line, I mean, for target is going on there. However, this pattern here, this rising wedge, this typically ascending triangle, I should say, not a rising wedge, ascending triangle does typically break to the downside. I'm not sure that is going to go too far to the downside, but it would be that target again that I would be watching sitting right down here. If you load, thank you. Right down here on that dynamic reactor, that's going to be about $3.35 on stacks. Let's take a look at the oscillator, see how they're looking. Oscillator still looking, you can see, even though we're getting a pullback, this oscillator does look like it's starting to do a duck head, which means these typically do a continuation to the upside. So this would be the cool off. Duck head forms here, the little goose head, duck lips, whatever you want to call it that OC points out all the time, would be this to be a continuation to the upside. So shout out to OC's duck lips. We appreciate you and all that you do for the Chart Prime community, bro. Let's kick it back over to you, and let's see what.
Oh man, I love it. Thanks, Viper. Also, a shout out to Crypto Billy Mammon in the chat. What's up, brother? Also, Troy Flight, I already shouted it out, but I love to see you here, brother. We miss you a lot. And also, Viper says the community that Cat's still there, still safe and sound so far, and they haven't received any. Alexandra G says that she haven't received any things from or emails from Mexi. So yeah.
I saw that a lot of people saying it's still listed. They're just not we're not getting any data on TradingView for it, so it's a little odd. I'm going to leave it up there because I got all of my long-term predictive ranges that I put in over a year ago on there. So, but yeah, so that's a good thing. I will tell you this. I'm going to show you this, guys, real fast. Let me go to the Duo Cam and see if I can get this in here. I did move all of my Caspa yesterday off of where I had it to my new wallet. Here, let me Studio Cam. Bam! Not financial advice. Yeah, this is Tangem. I got a new cold storage wallet. This thing, in comparison to my Ledger, is fire. I love this thing. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to use that my wife and my son needed like 10 seconds on it. That was it. And they were like, got it, understand it. So yeah, pretty cool. I just wanted to point that out. So that's where all my Caspa's at now. It's now sitting in cold storage for this bull run. Let's go.
Danger, not a sponsor, but it has a spot right here. So give us a call.
yeah. Tangem, if you want to sponsor the show, let us know. We will gladly put a link down there for you.
Nice. All right. So take a look at ICP, and also I have lined up JASMY. ICP is not looking bad. We still are bullish. We are coming from a flip of the ribbon from below the zero line, which for me, that is strength, right? I just want to point out something. It is that we can start forming, maybe if the price action keeps going up in this up ranging movement, that we could be seeing right here. If I turn on the trend channel from Chart Prime, by the way, free tool, guys, you don't need to pay anything. You just go into your indicators in here and do Chart Prime one single. Oh, not like that.
Don't do it like that.
Like this. Exactly.
Yeah, guys,
like
take a look at this actually while he's pulling this up, because if you guys don't know, Chart Prime has got so many free indicators. It's mind blowing. And they're like, if it don't have a lock next to it, it's free. So go in there and check out, play around with stuff. There's so many amazing indicators they put out for free every week. So
yes, this is one of my all-time favorites, which is the trend channel with liquidity breakouts, because they give you the breakout and the volume, so you can start looking for, instead of doing that 45-degree angle box thing, you can see, all right, roll low volume, I'm looking for retest, right? Retest, and look at that. Beautiful, off we go. So let me just turn this one off. I'm looking at this up ranging channel here. I think I'm going to keep that secondary line because it's a little bit more within the game. And we have a flip of the ribbon. What I want to see in here, it's at least a flip of the ribbon at the zero line, or in at the very worst, have a higher flip of the ribbon based on this other one. All right. Nonetheless, everything is looking bullish. We are green. We are on prime score 8. Annual consolidation score is 8, which means we are close to be breaking the range. Which range? This up ranging area. All right. So just be careful because this also could be looking like a dead cat bounce. Nonetheless, we have dynamic reactors. So for the worst case scenario, we'll be breaking to the zero line to back again below, going to the red and visiting somewhere around 16 cents, 1672, or even I'm going to be calling this previous area with the predictive ranges somewhere around 17. And that is also because we have some big support and resistances right here. So you can see those channels are very in line with what we're looking for, right? And if we also measure this bear flag that we could be having, as you can see, that measure target, it goes perfectly with that prediction. So maybe a little bit more downside here. We're still bullish again. We're still bullish, and I will be looking for reposition myself within ICP. Let me just stand a little bit into JASMY because it is not that complex. We are ranging. We keep breaking back and forth. Nonetheless, we are bullish, and the only thing that it could be a little bit worrying, it could be this head and shoulder formation with a flat bottom. That flat bottom, it also carries the dynamic reactor, so it is a strong support to be broken. Not impossible, but strong support to be broken. And at this point, I want to throw in my predictive ranges because we are right now bouncing from the dynamic reactor and also this delta median that we have on predictive ranges. The only thing that I will be looking forward to is going to be FOR. If the FOR flip of the ribbon happens below here, I will be looking at a further extended bounce at somewhere right here at around 0.019 for a breakout retest, and maybe up we go all the way down. And let me bring out my, there we go, my order blocks all the way down at 0.01. So far, we're holding. So far, we're holding again, but the bearish scenario will be 0.0173. All right, for the bullish scenario, we'll be breaking this area here and visiting the 0.024. So that's what I got, Piper. Let me try it back to you.
Awesome. So I'm looking at NOBL here. You're going to have to let me know in the chat. I'm going to have to move on from this, but there's got 2 listings here. One is coming in at like a bunch of zeros on it. Same thing, NOBL blocks, wrapped ETH on Uniswap. And then there's one that's sitting at 11 cents. And what's interesting is if I come over here and take a look at the coin market cap for it, and I put it in, and put in NOBL, there is actually 2 of them here versus wrapped ETH. One has liquidity of 3 million, one has liquidity of 247. So I don't know if this was a hard fork, what's going on with this, but I'm not sure which one you were talking about. I might have to do a piece on this and drop it in the Discord. But we're going to go ahead and jump over to Solana. I want to take a look at that. And then OC, was there anything else on the list that people dropped that you're going to be doing TA on?
I believe that we already have covered most of it, but I do see the last minute request, which it says BTC, which we already have done. Maybe STX. I can take STX or ORNJ.
Okay, so I'm looking here at right now at Solana, and there's some interesting news coming out on Solana that I'm going to talk about here in just a second, but I do want to show this, that right now we got really, really close to the 786 here. Peaking up about 204.25. That was coming in at about 205.25. So we were within $1 of hitting that platinum pocket again. You can see the previous rejection back here on it. That was the target that I had here with my T-box up there from when we were bouncing up on Friday, which would be here. Yeah, we were here. I said, look, if we break through this, look for this to be your target. That's what I did, and we were about $1 away from it, not quite meeting that target. Right now, we are getting a little pullback here. I'm going to be watching for us to come come down and do a zero level on the Oscillator Pro to get that bounce there, which would also give us that time for the RSI to cool off on the RSI primed, my favorite chart prime free indicator. That at the same period would also give us a retest of this breakout that we really have not had yet. So I think Solana looking really strong right now, but what I want to show you guys is this. And if I bring this up here, first off, where's my fixed range volume profile? Let me get that going here. There we go. Are you gonna print for me? Evidently not. Okay. Fixed range volume profile does not want to print for me. There we go. There we go. Grab that. Thank you. And now move you over. And there we have it. Fixed range volume profile high, that value area high, sitting right above the 50. So we have a lot of resistance, a lot of support, I should say, between the trade bands, that trend line, the golden pocket, the dynamic reactor. There's a lot of support to keep us above this. We're going to probably start printing new levels of value area high if this continues to consolidate. You can see consolidation scores currently sitting at 7. Prime score, meaning the trend continuation, sitting at an 8. So this is still looking good. This is a consolidation period right here. We have a nice little trend line there, little wedge there. This is looking like it could be flagging, giving us a nice little pendant, which could be giving us a nice little breakout to the upside. But here's what I want to show you guys on this news article that I thought was pretty interesting here. This is Solana. Institutional appeal skyrockets as Grayscale Solana trust surges. And I'm just going to break this down real quick for you in here. They have premiums over there. And so institutional demand for SOL investment products is crazy. The Grayscale Solana trust trades at $433. According to their February fact sheet, each share holds about 0.377. So about a third of a Solana in every share. This would imply that they are currently selling Solana over there to institutional buyers at 5.8x premium over spot. That would give it a price of $1,148 per Solana. That is what institutional money over there is paying right now for Grayscale Solana Trust. So that is super bullish in my opinion. I just wanted to show that, and I wanted to show you why a little pullback on Solana is not a bad thing. It's just consolidation right now, and that consolidation score, again, giving us a nice steady level while the trend is continuing up, sitting at a prime score of 8. So, OC, what you got for the people, man?
I got ORNJ courtesy of, and let me read it because I did forget his name. Sorry, brother. I don't see it here.
What is it?
All right, maybe Mehmet.
Mike.
What is it?
Mike Play is who said that.
Mike Play.
Thanks,
Thank
Zach.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, brother. So also want to say that please take a look at C90FTW. NOBL launch got scammed heavily. Just so you guys are informed what may be happening on the crypto space with NOBL on the comments. But let's go into the TA because we are basically running out of time right now. So going into the soft order blocks, we are right on a trend line in here. Not only that, we also have dynamic reactor, so maybe a little bit more downside we might be seeing here. What I'm looking for is an FOR. I do believe that we're going to be holding this area. There's a difference in here, a key importance here, which is going to be dynamic reactor along with a trend line. As long as we break below the trend line, we're still fine. And if we hold above the dynamic reactor, so this is my threshold area. All right, if we break below dynamic reactor and then we go for the retest with an FOR, I believe we're gonna be having a change of trend because we're not only breaking the trend line, also breaking a high volume area, which is the dynamic reactor, and also draining two soft order block that together could be making a medium or even a hard order block. All right. Nonetheless, everything's looking good on ORNJ, and we do see that diminishing volume going here because when we start measuring this kind of movements, you'll see the exhaustion of the market. So as you can see, this was supposed to be the us for the keeping the same momentum and then the secondary momentum, and we haven't had that continuation. We can see, yes, that from the secondary momentum, we sort of like make it, I mean, barely make it, and we're seeing that decreasing of movement. So that's what I got, guys. I turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to wrap out the show. We got a couple of minutes. I want to wrap out the show showing you guys what's going on with the Dixie. If you're wondering why all the markets are getting so bloody red today, it's this candle right here on the Dixie. It is pumping up, currently sitting at about 104.94. It's going to hit 105 here really, really soon, which is going to be right in line with this previous trend, this previous top here. So be watching for that. To finally get up there and maybe get a rejection at about 105.21. If we get that rejection there on the Dixie and start giving it some cool off time period here, then we should see the markets reverse back to the upside. But for now, guys, a lot of people getting a little nervous about the inflation returning and stuff. So the Dixie getting a little bit risk off money flowing into it out of the investors. So let's jump over here. Let's talk this out. And OC, great show. Thanks for co-hosting with me today, man. Shout out to TradeFly. Hopefully you got your computer back tomorrow, bro. I'm going to be curious to see what tomorrow does. Because if you go back and look historically on the daily, we've had red markets on most Tuesdays or break even. It's either been flat or it's been red. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to see how tomorrow looks and see if we can break that trend of red candles on Tuesday, giving us that green candle finally. And maybe tomorrow we'll get our pump since we didn't get our Monday pump. Might be a little flip action going on there. OC, what you got for the people, man?
Guys, thank you so much for joining. Make sure that you click that like button down there, because if you do, TradeFly might be here tomorrow. So don't believe me, give it a try and see if that works.
Yeah, if you don't smash the like button, TradeFly will not be here tomorrow, and Bitcoin will go to $150,000, and you'll never be able to buy another dip again. I would say that it's going to go to 20K, but that would make the alumni very happy because we like cheap crypto. So
that was an amazing one. I love it. I love that. So, guys, thank you so much. Remember to click that like button. You know already why. TradeFly might be here tomorrow if you do. So don't believe me. Go check it out and click it. And other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
awesome. Appreciate you, OC. Shout out to Mike Play. Just gave a $5 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Much love to you. Much love to all of the alumni.
That's my alumni. You know what
guys,
I mean?
We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything that you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. If you guys have not done so yet, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell on the way out. This is what we do for you guys every single morning so that you guys can have all of the alpha absorption. And, let's make some money. Let's do that. Till then, guys, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!